Let's go ahead and introduce yourselves for Welcome to Happiness here at the Dances with Film Festival.
I'm Oliver, writer-director.
Paget Brewster, actress.
Brendon Sexton, actor.
Bay Dariz, producer.
Now, Welcome to Happiness is a very interesting project. Could you guys basically start off and tell us about why is this movie so special to you guys?
I think it was just special because it came from a real place where we wanted to make something that was genuine and powerful and beautiful and uplifting. So that, I think, is why everyone wanted to get involved in it.
Yes, I agreed.
We all wanted to get in. Oh, I'll speak for myself and Brendon. We wanted to get involved with it because Oliver wrote an incredible script that it was strange and unique and very provocative. That's why I wanted to get involved.
Strange and unique and provocative, absolutely. And it gave all the actors in it a chance to utterly show off and do incredible work, which they all do, and it was a delight. And it was a wonderful script and maybe even a better film.
Awesome. This was a very strange, unique, and very different type of thing, almost like a Alice in Wonderland type of thing. Why don't you, the actors, talk about the eccentric character, the eccentricities in the film?
Well, he wanted you, the actors, he said.
Alice in Wonderland is a great way to put it. That's remarkable. That had not occurred to me before, but yeah, it's a magical door that characters go through, and our main character, the protagonist, Woody, is in charge of the apartment with the mystical door in it that actors go through, and he gets upset when he finds out where they're going on the other side of that door, and it sort of propels his journey and his story. I don't know where to go with that.
I can say that the film, or at least the script, had a lot of sort of like what it's now called like independent film characteristics, and that it had like quirky characters, quirky dialogue, witty dialogue, and it was very funny, but it's so much more than that. It's very deep film thematically, and in one scene you're crying or on the verge of crying and then laughing, and it's just like life in that way, and it's that's one of the other things that attracted me to it in a way to answer your question and not at the same time.
Now, Oliver, I'm sorry. I didn't want to jump and calling it like an Alice in Wonderland, but was that what you were really going for?
Well, I hadn't specifically thought of that, but I like that. That's really, really great. And I think that the fairy tale element of it, is... I'm sorry, I just remembered I'm supposed to be looking here, so I apologize if my eye line shifted. But certainly a heightened reality, which I think Alice in Wonderland would fall into quite perfectly. So yeah, it's great.
You had told me about Lost.
Lost, yeah. So Lost was also a big influence in the sense that there's the mysticism and mystery and of this magical island, and I think we had sort of said earlier, what if you took some of those ideas and placed them in a North Hollywood apartment? What would it be like? So yeah, I think that's where it all kind of stemmed from. Alice in Wonderland, though, I like that. Yeah.
So, what is the definition of happiness? It seems like every character was trying to find that in this film.
Yeah, that's one I'll gladly reach for the mic on, because I think for me there's this theory I was speaking of earlier a little bit, that if life is a big jigsaw puzzle and every person, maybe everything, is a piece, I think often the problem we face as humans is maybe wanting to be a different piece, or if it's a landscape puzzle, say you're a piece of sky, but you keep trying to fit into where there's the puzzle's supposed to be a maple tree or something, and you're never going to be happy there because it's not where you belong, and it's not where your edges fit, and it's not you're not completing the puzzle, you're not making the picture beautiful. So so I think that's what happiness is figuring out where you belong in the puzzle and not fighting it, and then things tend to fall into place.
This is good, Ed. That's great.
Thanks.
Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you guys want to say something? Or?
I just want to say that was beautiful. Thank you. No, thank you.
Bay or Oliver, talk about this perfect cast that you put in. I mean, it's a very large cast of well-known names, and I mean, it almost didn't even seem like an indie movie. So let's go ahead and pretend the actors are not here. Why are they perfect for their role?
Well, it was a combination of a couple of things. Kyle Gallner and Molly Quinn have been friends of mine for many, many years, and I knew I wanted them involved. And we just, we didn't think we would get this cast, and then we sort of reaching through their network of people, and then we got this casting director, Lauren Gray, who's just phenomenal, and it just kind of snowballed, and every person that kind of came in had some sort of, is the word tangenic? Is that a word? Am I making?
No, I like it.
Tangenic connection to someone else that we already had. So it was this very organic process. And people like Brendon, we didn't know, but we just really liked him, and he just said yes. And Paget, Molly knew her, and Molly knew Nick, and so it was a combination of personal relationships and this great casting director. And then, but they also had to love the script because this was not a huge payday for anybody. So it helped that Oliver wrote this genius script that attracted all this amazing talent. And sometimes I still can't believe that this movie was made with this cast, and it's unbelievable.
I will say, when I saw, before I read this script, I got the cover letter to a script when you get a script. It said that Frances Conroy was doing it, and I had worked with her on an ABC TV movie 10 years ago and was just so in love with her as an actress and a person that I was like, oh, if Frances is doing it, I'm probably going to do it. But then the script really sold me.
Yeah, she's the best. She's amazing. Great answer, Bay.
Tangential.
You must have Googled it.
I don't know. I'm going to have to Google that word, like many other words in the film. So now, Paget, your character is what is she? An agent for I wanted to say children's books and all that kind of stuff. You enjoy. How did it feel to play an agent? I mean, obviously you're an actress yourself. I mean, how do you pull that through? And what's your favorite children's book?
Awesome.
My favorite children's book is Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss, because it's about accepting failure and accepting that you won't always do the best that you can do, but you have to keep trying and get back up, and your reward is that you are courageous and hardworking. Playing the part of Priscilla, Woody's agent, in Welcome to Happiness, was I was just taking a cue from Kyle Gallner and how he was behaving and responding to Woody, because that's what I saw when I was working with Kyle. He's fantastic, and I've worked with him before. I just wanted to hold up my end of the bargain. I was terrified of not doing a good enough job. What's your favorite children's book?
I love Ferdinand, the story of
Ferdinand the Bull?
Ferdinand the Bull, and it relates to what you were saying earlier, Oliver, about fitting in where you belong, and how Ferdinand didn't want to be a bull, and he didn't want to engorge people with his horns, and he didn't want to fight, and he just wanted to pick flowers and hang out and chill, and that's kind of me. I just want to hang out and chill,
Right.
And so I love that story, and it's always resonated with me as a child and still as an adult.
I just want to give a shout out to Curious George, who's my
Holla.
and I think what can you say about Curious George? But also the Curious George, he was always wanting to do different things, and I think that I'm someone who wants to do everything, and maybe that's where I came from, reading those books when I was a kid.
My nephew is obsessed with the Curious George cartoon, so that's really great. I think my favorite. I've seen a lot of it lately, and he's the man. But my favorite children's book is probably like Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein. That's so good. And I'm kind of sporting like a Shel Silverstein look right now.
You are with the dome.
Yeah. So.
Chrome dome.
Yeah. Right. So. Yeah.
Just for the record, I do believe they're making Ferdinand the Bull as a film.
Yeah.
But I think I remember that news came out like 2-3 years ago, so I don't know where that's going.
They probably did a voice record and they're animating it now.
I will.
Could be.
Probably not going to be live action.
I will PA post-production. I'll do anything to be a part of it.
Well, anyways, Brendon, you look totally different from your film. All I could say is that you are very depressing. And so talk about your character, and is that your cat drawings?
Niles, my character in the film, is a painter, not as a profession, as a hobbyist, and all of those paintings were done by our producer here at Bay Dariz. And most of them were done very last minute. He was busy producing the film, and he did a remarkable job. And
I want to say about how fast he did them, because Niles is supposed to draw he's commissioned to draw this cat, and then Keegan has to write on the drawing, and we had to do a ton of takes of that. So Bay had to go and just pound out, like because we kind of thought of it like last minute, like while we're doing takes, he's pounding out another drawing, another one, so then we can do another take. So yeah, kudos, man. You did those amazing drawings, and you did them fast. Sorry,
Yes.
back to you. Yeah.
kudos and thank you, and making it real and personal and very much a part of the character. And do you want to talk about that? Do you want to expound on that? Just you would.
When I first read the script, I was like, Oliver wrote Niles for me to play. This is amazing. What an amazing part. He must think I'm such a great actor. Nope.
You guys have a great camaraderie yourselves and chemistry. I mean, is this how you guys are on the set?
No, this is an act. We don't like each other. We don't like each other at all. I think, certainly with Bay and I, it was friends first, bandmates first, Secondhand Lions, what up? And horrible fist bump, but that's okay. And then filmmaker second. I think if that's, to me, would be always the goal, is to be like friends first, and then colleagues secondary to that. So hopefully we continue to grow the team and stay buds, You guys want
And I want to say too that like I never met this guy till we shot the film, and we've become really good friends. And Paget, I keep trying to get her to come hang out with us, and she's too busy hanging out with Stamos.
No, he keeps trying to get me to come to trivia nights, which I'm terrible at, though. I know.
Oh, it's a blast. It's a blast.
No, we're having a great time, and honestly, part of the camaraderie is there is a little bit in just discussing the film and doing press about the film. Is you run the gauntlet. You're going from interview to interview, and it's actually really fun because these guys are great, and it's really nice to hear everybody say how they felt about making the film and before the film started, and so we're having a great time, and Brendon and I are just trying to figure out how to be involved in the Bay Oliver Ensemble theater troupe forever.
Yeah, forever.
Done. It's done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, then there's obviously have to be an interesting, fun story on the set. Can one of you tell me the interesting, fun story that no one knows about, really?
I can tell you one fun story. Okay. Didn't I just come alive with this interview? I just like this. This is just a great Nick Offerman story. There's a moment in the movie where there's this one shot that is quite complex, quite choreographed, and it involves Nick. And we had set aside an entire day to do it. So the morning was prepping the shot. Then we broke for lunch, and then the afternoon was going to be actually shooting it. So we were working all morning doing this big, long thing, and Justin and I, as our cinematographer, working it all out. We're blocking it, yada, yada, yada. And we've been working on this for 6 hours. Take lunch, come back in. I start walking Nick through it, and he says, yeah, I'm not going to do it like that. And then we went white. Justin and I just, I guess I'm kidding. No, it sounds great. Yeah. But there's just a fun, that's working with Offerman. Yeah. Anyone else? I don't know.
One of our locations was out in the desert at some form of commune where I think people take some kind of drink where you vomit in the ground and you have visions and stuff, which is great for them. It's not for me, but and I drove out there to shoot, and I did some severe damage to the undercarriage of my car trying to get down that driveway.
So not a fun story.
Sports car, no, the less expensive sports car.
Very nice car.
Well, not to throw you under the bus, but I remember in that scene, Paget's wearing this really awesome looking cape, and I think we're friends at this point, and I'm like, can I try the cape on? And she's like, no.
Wait a minute, hold on. It's an expensive Lily Ann cape from the 60s I got on eBay. I'm not going to let a man put it on in the desert. So I like that cape. It was my cape. I own it.
Walked off.
No. But I appreciate your honesty. Sorry about the car.
Tragic.
It's all right.
Sorry about the car.
I didn't park it well. It's my fault.
I see. I am like under awe right now. But anyways, I do have a serious question, kind of serious. What is up with the rock, and what color would your rock be?
Oh wow!
Oh, cool.
I love that question.
Well, I don't know what color my rock would be.
Do you need to explain what that is?
Yeah, because I think the idea of the what you're referring to is that Woody, the main character, who is the gatekeeper to this door, and have we already talked about? Have we broke down the film yet? Woody's the gatekeeper to this door and is in his closet, and strangers show up, and when he does a series of tests on them and asks them some questions, and if they pass, I guess, they get to go through the door. And one of the tests is that they sort of imagine this black rock turning a color, and then that rock doesn't turn, but this other one in a different room. It's sort of this magic trick that the rock turns the color that they had been imagining. So the rock tends to turn a color of a deep bit of despair, I guess, in the person. In the case of Niles, one thing that's not featured nearly as heavily, unfortunately, in the final edit of the film, but it's quite apparent in the script, and was, shot, but just didn't make it, is he is. We meet Niles about to kill himself, and he's going. He's laid out a blue vinyl tarp, which is a weird idea that people can ponder on their own, but why someone would, I guess, Dexter their own apartment. So the blue tarp, his rock turns blue. Spoiler alert, because that's what he identifies with as his misery, And the first character in the film, Leah, her rock turns green, and we know just from her discussion with Woody that something happened in a green bedroom when she was a child. We don't know what, but it bummed her out. And so that's kind of what the rock would be. And my color, I don't know. I'd have to really do some deep soul searching, I think, because it's kind of representative of whatever your darkest moment is. So anyone want to talk about what color their rock would turn?
My rock would turn purple because I'm obsessed with it. And when I was a kid, I think everyone thought I was colorblind because I would just color everything purple in the coloring book. And so
is that a horrific feeling for you? Did you want to?
No, but it's just the color that I'm always thinking of.
I don't think that would be your color.
I think it would be. Well, there's more. You know what?
We're gonna get into this later.
Well, maybe there's probably more to it that we'll talk. We'll talk later. You'll hear the whole story later.
Yeah, we're gonna have some.
There's a monster that was purple, lived under my bed.
And you're gonna tell me about this purple rock.
I just wanted there to be an answer to the question.
It's the color of like something profoundly disturbing that happened to you.
Well, I mean,
Mostly,
so.
I mean, yeah.
About his blue tarp. I mean,
that's the color that he goes to. Yeah.
Kyle's turns red. I'm just going to say spoilers aplenty, and then his parents' car that you come out of is red. It's like, so they're clearly these colors are triggers for when you were at your maybe darkest, So that's why it's such a great question and such a hard question to answer. And it's
I know.
actually,
I'm trying to. How much? I don't know.
I personally don't have an answer for that. What color my own personal rock would be, but hearing you answer that, I got really touched and upset, and it's.
Well, fortunately now it's like you'll be thinking about what color would it be, and I've spoiled your mood for the day, so I apologize.
Well, that's what's beautiful about this film. It's very representative of life. It
Sure, yeah.
It hurts and it's joyful at the same time.
Yeah, I think it's funny. I think we started off calling this, we started off calling it a metaphysical comedy, and very quickly realized this isn't a comedy at all. Then we started calling it a metaphysical dramedy, and then went, this isn't that either. This is just a drama,
With an audience.
And thought maybe there is some later moments to it. What do you think? Is it a dramedy or is it a drama? What is it?
Oh, I know you're supposed to have like a one-liner, to sell a movie. Or you're supposed to have a genre that you fit neatly into, and I just don't think this movie does.
Happiness. There we go, and illustrating all of our woes, our post-production woes.
Yes, that illustrates the woes, but it also illustrates why so many talented people were attracted to it in the first place, because it defies categorization,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And that's what makes it so representative of life, because we all experience the highs and lows of life. We all have, no matter how much we want to deny that, and this film captures that really well.
Cool.
It's not. Yeah. It's. I don't believe that it goes. It can be simplified into one definition or one category.
Right.
But when you see it, you will know what it is. Like art or porn. Is that fair?
Just like porn.
You know what I mean, though. You know what I mean.
Excuse me, guys. Welcome to happiness. It's just like porn.
Tune in.
Wow, you guys are having too much fun and a lot of happiness and so on. So now with the film completed, could you guys talk about any of your future projects that you may actually have?
In regards to the last response to that last question, I'm thinking it might end up being cashier at Target. It's looking like what might.
You are not qualified to be a cashier at Target, my friend. Well, in all honesty, we've got a bunch of films we want to get made, and we're just right now starting to get those scripts out there. And these guys have other stuff they've actually done.
Oh, along with coughing. I'm starting filming a show with John Stamos that will begin on Fox in the fall called Grandfathered Television. Everybody loves it. And I'm on a show on Comedy Central called Another Period that starts in July.
That's awesome. I have a bunch of films in post-production waiting to come out, and tune in.
One last question, and this. Oh.
Keep going. No, I'm coughing.
I already asked the question on the carpet, but this is for different viewers and so on. So let's say you walk through the small door, and lo and behold, the old couple is right there talking to you with the red button.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you push the red button, and what moment of your life in the past you would love to change?
Yeah, you did ask that, and I think I have to keep my answer the same. With a week to think about it, I still have to say. I mean, I think my whole point with the writing of the script is that you really can't change anything, and or maybe you can, but it all happened the way it was supposed to happen for the puzzle, right? So if I'm trying to change it, I'm trying to stick my puzzle piece where it's not a piece of lake and I'm a piece of lake or what have you. So so there you go. I wouldn't.
I agree with Oliver, and it's one of the reasons why I found the script so profoundly moving was the speech that Niles' character gets because he wants to press the button, and he finds out how that would have altered the world. I would not press the button, and I'm glad I don't have anything terrible enough to want to press the button for.
Oh, right on.
Beautiful answer.
Would you press the button? You gotta answer it.
I'm gonna speak for Brendon. I think he absolutely would not. I know Brendon pretty well at this point, and he's where he needs to be.
Thank you.
And I would not press the button either.
Would you, sir? Would you press the button?
I will answer that, and I will answer that.
Come here.
I will answer that, and that's because if I press the button, then I would not have the opportunity to interview this happy cast and crew and never get a chance to watch the movie myself. How's that an answer?
Don't push the button.
There we go.
Don't push the button. Don't push the button.
Hey, anyways, thank you for the conversation, and I appreciate it, everything, and good luck with the rest of the film festival.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.